Hello, Taurus. How are you doing? This is your monthly creative energy forecast reading for April 2022. I am so excited that you're here. This is Into the Infinite. I'm Charlie. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining me here. So April is going to be an excellent month for, a little bit of a sense of adventure. And I think you're going to be finding some, you may have a couple aha moments about relationships towards that Libra full moon on the 16th. I think it's going to be a great time for starting new activities towards the beginning of the month and doing some reflecting on the role that people play in those activities as you progress through April. I wanted to say August, but that's no, that is the warmth of August is on its way, but not quite. There could be something about August that will be important for you. But I'm also reading, so on April 19th, the sun is in your sign. So this is very exciting. It's your time, right? You'll find it, the energy is quite easy to navigate through. You may get a burst of energy. And I think that this is a good balance of the passionate energy of Aries with a little bit of discernment thrown in from Libra, right? Through the middle of the month. And then I think that moving into your sign this month, April 19th, is it's a really good blend of energies. It's a great time of year. I know I find myself certainly energized by it. We're at the zodiacal new year right now, so that's the start. We're kicking it off with Aries and then moving into your sign. Now, a lot of people say, Taurians are money hungry or materially focused and lazy. But one of the things that a lot of the Taurians that I know, comfort may be something that is, coziness, that kind of thing. Things that are very cozy and very earthy, and earthy just in the sense that there's like a nurturing to it, right? But one of the things that I really enjoy about Taurians is that you guys know how to work hard, but you also know how to play hard. So there's this sense of comfort and balance that you have. So I think that you guys definitely have got the market cornered on that, on balancing those two energies. And just the way that you can embody sensuality and remind the rest of the zodiac on the importance of savoring, right? This Venus energy, savoring, 222 just came up on the time. But the importance of savoring, right? And really being in that second house Venus energy or seventh house Venus energy, whichever way you want to look at it, the coming together of the two signs in the High Priestess. So I think that intuition will also be really important for you this month, and staying attuned to your energy and tending to your energy and creating through this fiery, passionate Aries energy, taking action, but also kind of looking inward and reflecting for you, my dear Taurus, in order to understand and navigate this kind of new season well, and all the opportunities that may come your way as well through this month. So I'll dive right into the reading now that I've kind of given you the preamble of some things, some notable events happening this month for you. So I would like to invite the angels, my guardian angel, my spirit guides, protectors, teachers, and their healing energy to this space. And I ask that it is a safe space that allows for the fullest expression of our light, humanity, ascension, and healing. Thank you so much, Spirit. Okay, so I'm going to pull from the Muse Tarot. So the Muse Tarot by Chris Ann. I really like this deck. It's very Taurian, I love it so much. The creative energy in this deck is beautiful. And I find that it spoke to me when it came to thinking about and putting together energies and reflecting on energies for these readings. So Spirit, can I please get monthly creative energy forecasts for April for my wonderful Taurians? Thank you so much. Okay, and also I don't necessarily read reversals. The reason being is that I read intuitively, so if it shows up as a reversal, I will just tell you. So you have Awakening, which is really great energy. That's the Judgment card. These are great energies, I'm not gonna lie. All right. And there you are. You're showing up in your own reading, Taurus. This deck is a bit interesting at times because the cards are a bit thicker, so when I go to pull one, sometimes a couple come out. Ooh, ending on the Tower. Can we just, okay, the world cosmos. So whew, that is excellent energy. Taurus, I get the feeling that there's a lot of big things unfolding for you this month. I'm understanding through this that you're gaining some clarity on what, not only what you want to put time and effort towards, but it could be that you have been uncertain about directions to go and things to do when it comes to either relationships or projects. And it's almost like a sense of stasis from not really knowing how to go forward, right? Not really understanding how. And the awakening card, so this is the judgment card. This is the position of, this is your highest vision for the month. So I think that there is something that you are releasing from within you. It could be directly, there's a sense of judgment that you're freeing yourself from. I know a lot of Taurians, the ones that I know, are very hard on themselves. They're very harsh on themselves. They hold themselves to a very high standard, and one that's very quietly held. It's not one that's, it doesn't announce itself when a Taurian enters the room, but there's a certain composure that I think of when I think of the Taurians in my life. And it could be that you are releasing this need or releasing this this burden. It's not really a Wands energy. And the minor arcana reflection of the Judgment card is the Six of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So I'm not really getting the impression that there's like a Wands or a Swords releasing, but I am feeling like there's a freedom that you're feeling because you're just letting go. Like you're saying screw this way more often, and like go you, like bravo, you need to do that more often, right? Do not confuse comfort with stability, right? That's a totally different thing. And I understand. So Four of Swords and Knight of Swords, there is a way that you're healing from this. And I think it's bringing you a sense of clarity. And that is something that I'm connecting this to intuition and also to High Priestess energy. So that is also your energy. So it's very intuitive. So staying in touch with your intuition is going to bring you a real sense of clarity from which you'll be able to move forward, right? You'll be able to move forward and either releasing judgment or freeing yourself from judgment, or releasing yourself from situations where you need to be judged in order to have that be your metric of how good or effectively you're doing something. Whew, that's for somebody. The Page of Pentacles showing up here in the kind of fears is that maybe you feel as though there aren't going to be the offers that you want, or that no one's going to be waiting for you. Whoa. I can barely hang on to the deck. It's a little bit of a tricky energy here. There could be, you're waiting for, it could be, okay, Spirit. I had like four thoughts. I say this often. There's like four cars trying to get through one lane, and it's one lane only, and all these thoughts come crashing in. So what I'm hearing Spirit say is that there's this sense of it's sort of like if a tree falls in the forest, is anyone around to hear it? If no one's there to judge you, how do you know that you're doing a good job? How do you know that things are coming? How do you know that what you want is on its way? How can you be aware of whether or not people appreciate you or like you? But I don't think that there needs to be anyone judging you. I think that when you have this power that comes from within you, it also it shines inside out as well. And I think this clarity, when you know who you are, that's when you can really start to move. That's when you get the momentum forward. That's when you really start to have people come forward. And the pages can be messages that come to you. So it could be people that come to you. But when you do this, I get the feeling that you'll be able to commit to projects and people in ways that you hadn't before. Judgment does hold us back, right? But the judgment that I'm reading here is really you stepping into the understanding that you do not need that energy. It's very Five of Wands energy. You do not need that energy. And it could be, Aries got this too. You could be feeling quite unaware. I'm going to continue to pull cards so that I don't blab through. Yeah, a lot of stuck energy. But the healing, so the Star card, that's the Aquarius card. That is also 11th house, so Uranian energy. So you could have placements related to the full moons, but it could be that you're also... it could also be that this is a good time to release the need. Release the need, my Taurian lovelies. Release the need to be judged by others in order to know and be clear on your value and what's important to you, right? Release the need to have others see you in specific ways. It's very healing. There's a lot of healing. And these things can creep into our lives in ways that we don't fully understand, but that can really take away from our ability to, that can really take away from our ability to move forward, and to let things like love or inspiring projects in, because inspiring to let things in. There are offers here, my darling. There are offers that if you were to really, the Knight of Wands just came out as well. Okay, so small aside, what I just saw here was the Queen of Wands sort of looking at the Knight of Wands, because they came out like, I don't know how you can see it, but it came out like this. So I think that there is someone that you're going to have to be discerning about, who may come at you with a little bit of fiery energy and a bit of impatience, and they may want you to make a decision. But just remember, there's something about the Libra full moon energy here that is really loud. So if somebody is sort of impatient with you, and that puts like a pressure on you and makes you feel like you have to perform and makes you kind of impatient with yourself, or feel like something is taking too long, take a step back and ask yourself if that is that person projecting onto you. Right? So be very clear about this, very clear. The Justice is the Ace of Swords and the Two of Swords in the Minor Arcana, and it's sort of like a cause and effect card, right? Domino effect I'm hearing. I think that there may be some things that are well out of your control, but the one thing that you can always control is how you see yourself, my loves. And that, when you understand that value and that place within, it's very difficult for people to, I want to say challenge, again, Five of Wands energy. It would not shock me if it came out somewhere here. I think that it's safe for you to set boundaries. I see Justice as boundaries as well, a little bit. Yeah, this is like a definite choice. Yeah, Lovers and Judgment. Whoa, Lovers and Judgment coming through. I think that this is a choice, and Judgment is a clarity, but it's a different kind of clarity, right? It's a kind of soul clarity that is definitely divinely guided. So I think that there's something about not only listening to your intuition here, but really releasing any sense of, releasing feelings of injustice, or feeling like you were kind of hard done to by the expectations that other people have placed on you. It can be really easy to feel resentment about those things. It can be very easy to feel resentment about the fact that people haven't necessarily been there for you in the way that you've been there for them. That's for somebody. But there is a comfort that you can take in the fact that you're the Queen of Swords, and you recognize bullshit from a mile away. You recognize it. You don't have to put up with it anymore. You don't have to put up with these fast-moving wand energies of passion first, thought later, right? You can be thoughtful in your energy. And I think that so the energies that are coming forward, the fears that you have is perhaps that as you move away from this energy, and be it relationships, people, jobs, in career and with projects, yeah, there's a lot of moving away energy. And I think that if this is a pattern that you've had where this is just how it's always been, I think that there is a Taurian out there who needs to know that it is safe to release those expectations and yourself from the chains that bind you to those energies. Because it really is like a kind of energetic cord that people build up, where they expect you to be perfect, where they expect you to be, everything and then some, but then that isn't always reciprocated. And who wants perfect anyway, right? I think, though, that you're building a kind of bridge for yourself through this. And I think the bridge that you're building is one that's coming from within. So it's not one that is being offered to you. And this is beautiful healing energy, because it's something that you're undertaking. I think that the fear is that, there's a fear of standing in your power, that it will make people think that you're not as valuable, right? As a kid, I was often told that I was too loud or too much or too whatever. There was, too much, too loud, a little bit of heartbreak, right? So you kind of tweak your behaviors until eventually you realize at different points, these are Saturn returns, right? You realize at different points that you're not the person that you want to be. And I think that you're moving away from that. You're moving away from this energy of stress, of frustration, of, needing to carry the weight of everybody around you. You're really just kind of like, okay, dip, I'm out, right? You're done. You may hold your cards and play them a little close to your chest. You may hold onto things a little bit tightly, but I think that as this month, as the month unfolds, and if you really use the energies of the moons, right? Use the new moon energy for new projects. Use the new moon energy for stepping out into the world a little more, and then use the full moon energy to reflect and set intentions, specifically the Libran energy, right? That's the Justice card here. Use that Libran energy to not always to understand the difference between being diplomatic and silencing yourself and taking away your voice from yourself. So understanding the balance that's needed there, I think, will really help you to understand that you do not need to hold so tightly to your light, because no one can take it. The Nine of Pentacles is here. No one can take it, because when you plant seeds, there are certain things that you can invest in. You can invest in things outside of you, but the investment that I think Spirit is really calling you to make this month is one that's in yourself. And this fiery Aries energy is it reminds me sometimes the way that I have Aries and Mars. So what I'm hearing is that use the energy that pissed you off as a force forward so that you can begin to heal, and use that energy as the sort of doorway to help you reflect on the quality of your relationships, so that as you move into your time, Taurus, as you move into your time, it will allow the universe to support your healing, right? And when we think about being in your sign, we think about beauty and love and, passion, but more tempered passion, like sensuality. These energies that the rest of the zodiac are deeply inspired by, and we need more beauty. We need more of that. So I think by investing in yourself, you're going to teach people around you, not necessarily how to treat you, but I think in a way you're going to teach them who you are, and that it's okay for them to shine too, right? I hesitate when people say, oh, I teach people how to treat me. Well, that's to an extent true, but I think that it also bypasses the need to articulate our needs. So I'm always hesitant to throw caution to the wind and just use that, because then it kind of gets into murky areas and territory. But I think that you just let go of the expectations that other people have placed on you. So showing up in the how you hide, I think that you hide in the Hierophant. I think that you hide in the commitments that you make. You hide out in the ways that... I think that you hide out in the ways that people expect you to be. It's almost like I'm getting martyr energy off of this. And that's a very charged word, and not everyone... no one wants to be called that. But I think that there's a little bit of hiding out in martyrdom instead of being really discerning and judicious about focusing on you and really releasing yourself. Because it's hard for us to make commitments and stand in our own power when we're giving so much of ourselves, right? When we're over giving. Again, the Justice card is a call for good boundaries. And I think that there are choices that you're going to have to make that may be really difficult for you, my love. It might be really difficult because there could be things that you want to hang on to, right? That you've known. It's sort of this world that you've known that you're stepping into. You know what's important to you now, and there's a whole world waiting for you to step through, right? We're getting a lot of bridge energy. So a lot of transitional, liminal energy as you move through this. So the Hierophant is, that's your card, Taurus. And this also shows you and your power, right? So if you're hiding out, I would say this could reflect shadow energies of your sign. If you're kind of hiding out in yourself, in your element. So it could be that you're in a comfort zone that is really tough to break out of. It can also mean that you are in a kind of stuck energy where you're really stubborn. I'm an air sign, right? I'm Aquarius sun moon. So like the stubbornness, I'm right there. I'm a fixed sign too. Like no one out stubborns us, which is a good thing when we have to stay focused on something, but it can also be a detriment when we need to be flexible. And I think that this may be a call towards flexibility, and flexibility to release the past, because we can't really release things and heal if we're gripping tightly, right? You have to relax your grip on something in order for it to go and for divine intervention and timing to really work in your favor. So Spirit, can you please clarify the Hierophant energy here for my wonderful Taurians, and how it is that they might hide? Yeah. So 10 of Swords, definite, 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords. I feel like this is something that's been going on for a long time that has stressed you out, that has not felt good, number one. But I think it's, you're really ready for the next step. You're ready for the next thing. And that's beautiful energy. You're very in touch with how you feel, and you're doing some emotional healing about it. And I think that being in touch with your emotions is the way through this. Same Aries got a similar message as well. I say that because the King of Cups and Page of Cups are here clarifying the 3 of Wands and 10 of Swords, right? So I think that there is, this can also represent people, right? That people are coming in to be a teacher for you, you know, to pull you out of this hiding place. And I think about, I have a friend who often pulls me out of my shell. And that's what I'm thinking about here, is someone is coming to pull you out of a norm or a shell, and really bring you back into a sense of yourself. You may have choices between, you may have some choices. And I say that because there's some court cards here. We have the Knight of Wands, Page of Cups. There's also the Queen of Swords, but she's more related to clarity internally. Tower, yeah. Okay, can we, yeah, Magician, Strength, 7 of Swords, World, for Sun. Once I get a story going, I just can't stop. So these changes have been a long time coming. There are certain things that you will see, probably it'll be like you can't really unsee them this month, related to your relationships and how people have been taking from you. I think that, though, you have an awareness of this, and the fact that you are aware. Sometimes we think about pain and the fact that we are aware of how much things hurt and that they suck. 2-2 just came up. Sometimes when we're aware of this, we focus more on the pain than the fact that being enlightened to it means that we have one foot in it and we're almost done. We're almost through. Like, that energy doesn't have to come back again. In the same way that it did, and that's real growth, right? And the Magician here and Strength tells me that you are strong as hell. They both have that infinity symbol over their heads. So this is like the air and fire energy. Magician is more Mercury, and I think that this is probably that you're going to have to communicate some boundaries. You're going to have to communicate some boundaries, because there are people taking. And honestly, not everyone realizes that they're taking. They don't know how they're taking. And that's why it's, I'm hearing guilt. That's why people can be really good at guilt. That's why people can be really good at mobilizing things like shame and trying to point it in your direction. But the world is here, which I read as kind of a period on that sentence. Like, that is done, period. Now what? Well, 4 of Wands in the Sun. So, I mean... If you're looking for happiness and the kinds of relationships, this is also the kind of a contract card. This can be the twin flame card, can be a relationship in terms of soulmate as well. But, you're moving through this and you're understanding that there are relationships that do feel better, number one. And you're realizing that there are ways of being that do honor you, that do shine a light. I'm hearing shine a light on the darkness. So I'm hearing that there are ways that you've been in relationships that did not necessarily allow you to shine, but it could also be that you couldn't because it was for fear of outshining someone else, and that could be what someone was taking. So I think just stepping into that fire energy and that passion this month with Aries, and then using again. So it's all about using the energies available to us through, the astrological calendar, and well, the zodiacal calendar too, but kind of the same thing. What I see here is really stepping into your confidence. And I feel like there's a lot of ways that you've been hurt, Taurus. There are a lot of ways that you've been hurt, but there are also equal number of ways that you can heal. And don't resist the urge to get the last word in. You know, it's Aries energy. It's more fire energy. There are so many memes about this, like, you know, don't end a sentence, you know, don't expect, like, it's, don't say things to fire signs without expecting them to turn on their heels and come back, because that's no, that's not the right energy. And I think that the reason why that came to mind is the fire energy of the sun here, and how that's kind of antithetical to happiness. So resist the urge to feel like you need to get the last word in on whatever this is that you're healing, and whatever relationships you're creating boundaries around, because it really isn't going to serve you. Not only is it not going to serve you, I feel like it's also going to take away from your capacity to experience joy, because you're kind of always going to be keeping score somehow, right? You're going to be keeping score. So let that shit go. Like when the period shows up to end that sentence, and you're here too. So your card is clarified by a card that has you in it, right? So this is kind of the coming together of understanding. This is the coming together of an understanding of how people might have been taking from you, and how it was affecting your ability to have what you want. So let yourself have those things. Let yourself have that joy and experience that joy. But don't feel like you need to, like you owe people because you're setting boundaries. So the Page of Swords is here. Page of Swords. Again, I read the Muse as a page. It's fine. This is how others can basically help you this month. Like, how are you relating to others through your gifts, your skills, your vision, your potential, and how are others able to help you? And I almost get this feeling that you're kind of, there's an internal storm. Like I'm reading this internal storm, and that there's this small part of you. There's an internal storm that this small part of you has been trying to navigate. And it could be inner child related. There's also the full moon in this card. So again, this could be in relationship to codependent habits, or your relationship to self, and how you are stepping into creating boundaries with others, seeing it as an adventure, I'm hearing. I mean, that's different. But let's see, Spirit, can you please clarify this? How are others here to help you, and how are my wonderful Taurians relating to others with and through their gifts, skills, vision, and potential this month? So the King of Pentacles, excellent energy for you, Taurus. I really like this. I really like that a lot. Very grounded energy, understanding what's worth it and what's not. I'm hearing pick your battles. Page of Wands, Hermit, Virgo energy, Earth energy, and then this kind of dose of fire. This can be a person. The pages can be messages. They are messengers. I'm thinking about messages from people. So it could be that there's a fire sign that comes in, but you're not really open to it. You're feeling kind of defensive in your head, unsure, and the Wheel of Fortune. So being doubtful of inspiration. When you feel clear, don't doubt yourself. That's this whole row is just, there's wisdom in knowing what you want and knowing what you want to put your energy towards. So if this could be just a little bit of a kind of, I hesitate to say karmic test, but just a little bit of a test after you've set the boundaries and established what you want. This could be a little test coming in to be like, are you sure? Yes, you're sure. Don't overthink your boundaries. Don't overthink the changes that you're making to honor yourself. Don't overthink the transformation that's taken place, because it's giving you more options. It's making so much more available to you. And that's part of this cycle coming to a conclusion. I think it's just, sometimes you have to just walk away and you don't get closure. You don't get the closure that you're looking for. And that's understanding that is part of the Hermit energy, is the inspiration, right? It's this kind of being led by wisdom. And I think the wise thing would be to walk away from messages that bring conflict with them, that bring stress with them, right? The Hermit is, you know, if this is you and feeling frustrated, you're definitely giving some side eye to this page, and the Hermit is walking away. So it could be that you're walking away from that energy, things that do not honor you, things that do not show you that sense of respect. And that's the real transformation. And there may be just a slight inclination. I'm not getting big because the Tower's here, death is here. So if the Tower was here, I would be like, I'd be more concerned. But I think that it's really just opening up more possibility to you and for you. And that's part of just a cycle that you have already worked through, and it's just coming up as a small test. And I get the impression that that's going to happen more towards the end of the month. It's going to be after the Libra full moon. Just a small offer that you're going to have to say no thank you to. So I don't know who that's for, but, and then this is how you're helping others. So the Tower and the World. So we already had the World in here, and the Tower is showing up again. So I think that you're helping others by setting boundaries too, because if somebody is coming in to run roughshod over your energies and your boundaries and what you need, it's really hard for you to relate to them honestly. So they don't get the fullest expression of you either. They don't get the fullest expression of you either. Okay. And I think that's something really important to remember, because we have to restrict ourselves and hold back when we're in these energies. And it's important to know that the best way that you can help others is by helping yourself. There's, we can give and give and give and give. It's like the codependent mantra, right? Give until we have nothing left and then expect that someone will just give to us. No. Why? Because then you never really get to relate to people in a way that enriches relationships. You're always pissed and waiting. You're always upset, and not always, but a lot of the time, right? And you're just thinking to yourself, well, maybe it's like waiting for the other shoe to drop. Maybe they'll get it. You're, having conversations that feel quite cyclical, because they never really reach a conclusion. There's no closure. There's no like, oh, okay, well, I'll just do this because you asked for it and it's something that's important to you. So I think that the Tower and the World here is that honoring your boundaries, as shocking as it might be to other people, honoring your boundaries is the absolute best thing that you can do for yourself and other people. So the minor arcana has reflections of the major arcana, and the minor arcana reflection of the World is the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, and the 6 of Cups and 3 of Cups. So a lot of like coming together and fulfillment energy, right? So this is really just, that's sort of the coming together of energies. And I think that what this is telling me is that a lot of things are going to come together for you. Let people be shocked. Let people be shocked. That's how you're helping them. Let them be surprised. Let them be surprised by your strength, right? You're blasting through stuff that doesn't work. I get the feeling that you were just stuck in this cave. You were stuck in this cave. This was where you were hiding, and you're sort of blasting through. Let people be surprised by your strength. Don't cave or hedge or negotiate your strength. Do not do that, my Taurus. You do not deserve that at all. 2 of Cups, yeah. You might feel defensive, but there's pages coming in. People are going to miss you. I got this card here. People are definitely going to miss this version of you because they got so much from it, right? 2 of Cups came out clarified by the 7 of Wands, the Chariots, Page of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. So there are other offers coming in, and it will almost be like, you may feel like you have to kind of navigate these energies, and people may try to make you feel guilty for not giving them what you want anymore. But it's important to be able to discern, and you're moving on from this conflict. That's a very literal reading of this, the Chariot and the 7 of Wands. I know, but I think that there is choices that you're going to have to make. 2 of Cups can be love as well, though I'm getting that this is maybe more, you're going to have to choose between offers that honor you or that don't, and really do not. I feel like this, in the way I'm reading this here, is like codependent energy. Like it's very reversed. Crying over spilled milk, but it's other people trying to get you to do stuff. And yeah, so the Ace of Wands came out, which is inspiration. That's also a new beginning. It's messages that feel better to me than the way that these knights are showing up here, knights and pages in this row. And I feel like this is something coming from within you, right? This is something coming from spirit. This is something coming from inside you. And it is very Queen of Pentacles energy. So I think that there's healing taking place, but healing that's been slow going, but with good reason, because it's going to allow you to stop letting people take advantage of you. I see the King of Pentacles and Queen of Pentacles here, which can be counterpart energy. But I think this is really just maybe you bringing this, like, you know, twin flame energy is masculine, feminine. I mean, I fall outside the binary, but I think it's this unification of these two energies within you that's coming together so that you can let yourself speak your truth and in a way that honors you. So again, just let people be surprised, let them be shocked, hold space for that energy, but do not take it on because it's not yours, Taurus. This April, it's not yours. The adventure for you, I think, embarking on this adventure and being a little bit more you focused with the Aries energy and the Aries new moon than you have been is going to be very good for you. It's going to clear your energy. You know, I've experienced this, and you know, where speaking your truth is the fastest way to clear your aura. It's a very quick way to just cleanse things because it means that you're not holding stuff in. It's not getting stuck in your energy. It means that you're able to let things go, right? It's like the water flowing. And my friend Michael, well, I don't know where he's at now, but years ago, I mean, this was over a decade, probably 15 years now. He said that tears are really just a baptism from within. And I think about how when we speak our truth, it's sort of like a baptism from within as well. It's very swords energy, right? Speaking your truth. In this deck, it represents the voices. But I think that what it does is it really clears your energy so that things can move through you like water. You get back in touch with your emotions. So don't hold back. I mean, you don't have to deliver truths harshly. That's the Libra energy of the full moon on the 16th, right? You can be diplomatic and, you know, you can be diplomatic, but it is very important that you are honest. You're honest with other people and yourself. When that happens, it's like magic starts to unfold in your life because things start working in a way that they couldn't before. Things start coming together in ways that just absolutely, it feels like, it feels like a sense of magic that you're back in touch with. So the signs that I'm seeing here, I have a lot of cards out here, but the signs that I'm seeing and the planets, so I see Aquarius and Uranus and 11th house. I'm also seeing Gemini and subsequently the 3rd house and Mercury. Judgment is Pluto energy, which is 8th house. Justice is Libra, and that would be 7th house and Venus energy. I am also seeing Tower energy, which is kind of Mars Pluto energy. That's 8th house and Scorpio. The Magician is Mercury energy. It can also be a bit more air oriented, but Mercury energy, which is also Gemini, 3rd house energy. Strength card, which is Leo, so 5th house. That's the sun, but you also have the sun card here too, so that's more of Leo in the 5th house. The world card is Saturn, so that represents sort of Saturnian discipline and a need to really stay focused despite things pulling at you. 3737 I just saw on the time when I looked. I'm also seeing the Hermit, which is Virgo, Death, Scorpio. Virgo is ruler of the 6th house, and that's also Mercury. Death is Scorpio, and that's the 8th house. The Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter energy. Ooh, yeah, so that's also Sagittarian energy, so expansion. So just as an aside, you know, the way that others are here, this lesson is here to help you expand and kind of be able to pull in more. That's Jupiter energy, is sort of this this expansive energy. So I blanked on seeing that earlier, but Chariot is also Cancer, which is the 4th house. And yeah, that's all, folks. But I'm going to pull a Miracles Now card just to give you a little bit of an affirmation to take with you this month for the journey. My wonderful Taurians, help you keep that beautiful energy going and to also stay strong through what sounds like a really important lesson in setting boundaries with other people and maybe yourself too, right? So my positive energy leaves a powerful impression on the world. My positive energy leaves a powerful impression on the world. The number of world and cycle cards, and I just saw this. I am not the victim. I am the lighthouse. I am not the victim. I am the lighthouse. That is really like, be the lighthouse. Use all of this energy. Take all of that fire. Be the freaking lighthouse, Taurus. I know it's tempting sometimes to be the 9 of Wands, but be the lighthouse. And I say the Nine of Wands because the Nine of Wands is the reflection of the Hermit in the minor arcana, right? You can be led by light and healing and wisdom, or you can be led by conflict. So it's really up to you which one you choose. So be the lighthouse, because it is a choice, right? You have the Lovers here. You have choices. This is a choice that you have to make. So there is that. I'm going to pull very quickly just a little note from the universe on love and connection. This is the Mike Dooley deck, just for further clarification, because I feel like all this is coming together pretty beautifully. So Spirit, can you please clarify and just give my Taurians here for April 2022 a little note on love and connection, to give them something to smile about, think about, and to use in service to their highest and best good. Change is always good. I don't know if I mean, the Aquarius in my chart was like, oh, Taurus, I feel for you. Right? We hate change. Fixed signs hate change. It's not our strongest suit. We like change when we can see what's coming and when we don't have to move too far outside of our fixed energy. So just remember, change is always good. I say that with a sigh. But so on the back of the card, it says, actually, the only effective way of changing another person is by changing yourself. Is by changing yourself. Judgment. Works every time, guaranteed. Though I'm kind of partial to the way you are right now. Tally ho, the universe. So, and then this was just on top. Dwell on what you love. That could be what gets you through this change, this, you know, this uncertainty of how are people going to receive these new boundaries that I have, and this new set of expectations or way of doing things that I'm implementing, right? The change can feel uncomfortable, but if you dwell on what you love, which is very Taurian energy, I'm honestly like, dwell on what you love, and, you know, use the sun moving into your sign on the 19th to your advantage. You know, it's the world kind of wakes up in the northern hemisphere in terms of spring, so use that fresh energy to breathe life into the things that you want to change and create and sort of catalyze with the moon energies this month. 4141 just came up on the time. While remembering that change is difficult at times when we've been consistently in one way, when we've been like committed to a specific way of doing things. And even if that's like hiding out in our shadow, right? Dwelling on what we love puts us in a state of gratitude. So that's a really important message for you to take with you this month, Taurus. So gratitude, gratitude, and more gratitude. So I will leave it there, my wonderful Taurians, and I will see you for next month's creative energy forecast. And then in the meantime, there's a whole bunch of different things on this channel, and I will see you on those as well. Take care. Have a great month.